The Southern States Recloser is a solid dielectric vacuum switching device that was developed through extensive collaboration with public power utility professionals. In this video, we will show an installation overview for mounting and setting up this distribution automation device as performed by one of our cooperative customers. Please refer and adhere to all safety information and warnings as noted in the instruction manual and communicated upon purchase and receiving of the equipment. It is common for most utilities to install a bypass disconnect switch between the recloser and high voltage lines. This will allow maintenance personnel access to test, repair, or replace the recloser without disruption to customer power. In this scenario, the utility utilizes 3 bypass disconnect switches pre-mounted on a crossarm to expedite installation. Once the bypass disconnect switches are installed, the utility must then prepare to run jumpers from the main line down to them. This utility utilized dead-end bells to cut the line and then proceeded to prepare the jumpers from the dead-end bells down. If the line construction already has double dead ends, then the line jumpers should be removed and jumpers made up from each side of the pole down to the bypass disconnect switches. With the line dead-ended and jumpers run down to the bypass switches, it is now time to proceed with the mounting of the recloser. The Southern States Recloser, which is light enough to be lifted with the material handler on a bucket, is placed on the pole and bolted into place per the guidelines specified in the instruction manual. With the recloser mounted, the utility then runs the jumpers from the bottom of the disconnect switches to the recloser. Southern States Recloser offers various configurations to suit each utility's style of line construction, including 90-degree NEMA terminals, straight NEMA terminals, as well as rotated end bottles. This utility utilized straight bottles with 90-degree NEMA terminals. Because lightning is the most common underlying cause of an electric recloser failure, installing arrestors as close as possible to the recloser is critical. Once installed, the arrestors must be grounded. With solid grounding lugs on the recloser mounting bracket, as well as the recloser itself, utility crews can quickly move from grounding to then attaching the arrestors to the high voltage lines via jumpers. While there are a variety of ways to do this, this utility utilizes hot line clamps to attach the arrestors to each incoming and outgoing jumper. With the base recloser installation complete at the top of the pole, the final optional step for a utility is the installation of wildlife guards. These help to provide protection against squirrels, birds, snakes, and other wildlife that can get between phases and cause an undesired operation. For total protection, jumper hose can also be added to the jumpers from the recloser up to the bypass disconnect switch. With everything at the top of the pole wired into the grounding lugs, it is time to run the ground wire up and connect it to the recloser mounting bracket. The ground wire ensures the recloser mount, tank, and arrestors are grounded. Each recloser requires a provision for AC power in the control cabinet. To accomplish this, utilities typically supply a small transformer rated as low as 1.5 kVA on the back side of the pole. With the recloser and transformer installation completed on the pole, the utility can begin bringing the power and control cables, both covered with a piece of U-guard for protection, down to the cabinet. The Southern States supplied control cable is now connected to the recloser and the power cable is now connected to the transformer. With pole mounting provisions on the cabinet itself, installing the control cabinet on the pole at an adequate height is simplified. Once hung, the connectors are tightened and the cabinet is secured to the pole. The grounding wire can then be run to the cabinet's ground lug. Once the ground wire is connected, the control and power cable can also be connected to the bottom of the control cabinet. The breakers inside can now be turned on, providing power to all the components inside the cabinet as well as the recloser itself. Southern States devices will arrive on site with the relay pre-programmed and tested to the device, but the communications and protection settings will need to be added to the relay. Some utilities will program these settings prior to installation, while others will wait until on-site. Whichever method is chosen, programming of the relay is a simple process with communication ports on the front of the device. If a SCADA system is present, most utilities will opt to make that connection at this point during the installation. Prior to closing in the disconnects and performing any device testing, it is suggested to place the relay in non-auto reclose mode. When the utility is ready to perform a final point-to-point checkout, the disconnects can be closed while leaving the bypass in place. This will allow for trip close as well as voltage testing without the possibility of disrupting power to the customers on the line. At the completion of all desired testing, make sure the recloser and relays are in the normal state. The utility can now remove the bypass and the equipment is live and ready for use. This completes the installation of the Southern States Recloser. With its integration into the distribution system, this utility will enjoy improved reliability and resiliency of their grid. To learn more, contact Southern States today.